Hello everyone, welcome to IITN's GATE classes. So in today's session, we are going to see the GATE 2019 solution of digital electronics for the branch instrumentation. So let us then begin today's session. So the first question, it is asked here, the circuit shown in the figure below uses an ideal positive edge triggered synchronous JK flip-flop with output X and Y. If the initial state of the output is X equal to 0 and Y equal to 0 just before the arrival of the first clock pulse, that means this is your initial state at 0th clock pulse. The state of the output just before the arrival of the second clock pulses means after the first clock pulse, what will be your output? Okay, after first clock pulse, they are asking you. Now, if you look in the circuit, it might look like that this is not synchronous counter. Why? Because you can see the output of this JK flip-flop is fed to this clock of this flip-flop. So you might feel no, this is asynchronous counter, but actually this is a synchronous counter. This is a synchronous counter. So if you sketch the clock, okay, so this is our clock. So in this question, actually, I am going to draw what? I am going to draw all the states that we can have over here. So as this is a two flip-flop, means there are two flip-flops, so there can be at max 4 states. Okay, so this is okay. Now in this much we can get all the states. So this is a what? This is a positive edge triggered flip-flop. So this is your clock. Okay, external clock. Positive edge triggered means all the positive edges needs to be marked. And you can see this flip-flop A, it is working in which mode? It is working in your toggle mode because J and K both is input is 1. Okay. So if this is the case, initially it is given X is equal to 0. Okay. X is equal to 0 and Y is equal to 0. So Y you can see is what? Y is the output of flip-flop A, and let me assume this is B. So let me sketch Y first. Okay. So Y if I sketch, so initially it is 0. So at each positive edge, the clock will, means the output will toggle itself. Okay. So now mark the positive edges of this Y. So this is your Y. Okay. Y. And this Y you can see over here, it is acting as the clock pulse for this flip-flop B. Okay. And state of B, it is given as X equal to 0 initially. Okay. So initially if this is 0, so this will be something like this. Okay. So this part is your 0th clock pulse. This is your first clock pulse. This is your second. This one is your third clock pulse. And this is fourth. So as this is a discussion type, I have drawn this much, but in exam you don't need to do. You can sketch just up to here because it is asked the state of the output just before the arrival of the second clock pulse. So this is the arrival of the second clock pulse. So state just before it. So you can see this is X. So this is 0 0 initially. This is 1 0 0 1 0 1, and this is 0 0. Sorry, this is 1 1 1 1 0 1. Okay, so before the arrival of the second clock pulse, so you can see the state is what? Your state is 1 1. So option D is correct. Okay, option D is your correct answer to this question. Now if I want to draw the state diagram, so this will be what? 0 0 initially, then it goes to 1 1, then 1 0, 1 0, and then 0 1, and then again back to 0 0. So this is your state diagram of the following counter. Okay. So moving on to the next question, it is given an 8-bit weighted resistor digital to analog converter has the smallest resistance of 500 ohm. The largest resistance has a value in dash kilo ohm. So we know what, in a weighted resistor type DAC, our MSB has the resistance 2 to the power 0 into R. Okay, and your LSB has resistance 2 to the power n minus 1 into R. So the smallest resistance will be 2 to the power 0 means 1, and here R is given to be 500 ohm, and the largest value of the resistance will be what? Here it is given 8 bit, so 2 to the power 7 into 500, and it is given in kilo ohm. Okay, you need to calculate in kilo ohm. So if you want to calculate it in kilo ohm, so divided by 1000, so now it will be kilo ohm. So this is 2, so this is 2 to the power 6, or this is 64 kilobyte. So the answer to this question is 64 kilobyte. Okay, very simple question, very simple question. So the next question asked is the total number of Boolean function with distinct truth table that can be defined over a 3 Boolean variable is. Okay, 3 Boolean variable is. So look very carefully. Directly if I apply the formula is what? Number of functions using n variables. N variables, they are how many? They are 2 to the power n. So here if I apply the formula, so that will be 2 into 2 to the power 3, or this will be 2 to the power 8, or this is 256. Okay, 2 to the power 8 is what? It is your 256. So answer to this question is 256. So this is by using the direct formula. But what happens if you don't know the formula? So you can generalize this also. How? You can generalize. Look very carefully. So for a one variable, okay, one variable you have. So this can take how many value? Either it can be 1 or it can be 0, or you can write it as a bar. Okay, a bar. Now how many distinct combination can you have for this two variable? So look very carefully. It will be 0 0 1 1, and this will be 0 1 0 1. That means what? Basically what I am doing, I am writing your function as alpha into a plus beta into a bar, where alpha and beta can take values like this. So if you do this, this will be what? 0 into a, 0 means 0 into a, 0 into a bar, so that will be 0. This is your f1. f2 can be what? It will be 0 into a plus 1 into a bar, so this will be a bar. f3 can be what? It will be similarly you can put, so this will be a, and f4 will be 1. So all the possible combinations you can have, they are what? For a single variable is 4. So how can you get it? So 2 to the power 1. So that is 4. From here also you can get one another type I am telling you. So for two variables. So from this it is impossible to know that it is like 2 into 2 to the power n. For two variables, how is it going to be? So look, for two variables, it will be basically A as well as B. Okay, A as well as B. So now, how many different things can we have over here? So A will have A bar, and B will have B bar. Okay. Now, how many different combinations can we have for this one? So it will be 0, 0, 0, 0, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And this will be 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1. So like this, you will be having 16 combinations, because if you have 4 variables where your 4 variables can take different values, so at max you will be having 2 to the power 4. So how many functions can you generate using 2 variables? So that will be 2 to the power 4, or you can write it as 2 into 2 square. So that is 2 into 2 to the power 4. Now you can see, you can make the generalized formula. So even if you don't remember the formula, just do this thing, that if your basics are good, you can solve any questions. Okay. Now the next question is very important question, and I want you people to do what? To pause the video and solve this question first. Okay. Try this question. So look here, what it is given. The figure below shows the ith full adder block of a binary adder circuit. Ci is the input carry. So this is Ci. And Ci plus 1 is the output carry of the circuit. So this is the output carry of the circuit. Assume that each logic gate has a delay of 2 nanoseconds. So all the logic gates have 2 nanoseconds delay, with no additional time delay due to interconnecting wire. This we all know. If the input Ai and Bi are available and stable throughout the carry propagation, the maximum time taken for an input Ci to produce steady state output Ci plus 1 is dash nanoseconds. Now this question is very important. So they are asking, at what time, after how much time delay are you going to get Ci plus 1? Okay, Ci plus 1. So what do we see? This Ci plus 1 is dependent on this gate. Okay, dependent on this gate, and one of its input is coming from here. So that means it is dependent on this gate, and this gate has one of the input Ci. So this is available, and one of the inputs is coming from this gate. Okay. So now let us see how much time delay. So from here, if we apply input, so this is 2, this is also 2, and this is also 2. So 6 nanosecond. What do you think? Is this the correct? Is this the correct solution? 6 nanosecond. So those of you who got 6 nanosecond after pausing the video, so you need to take proper care. So once again, I am going to tell you, whenever gate questions you see, just think. Okay, think. So look here very carefully in this line. In this line, look. If the inputs Ai and Bi are available and stable throughout the carry propagation, and it is said that it is stable throughout the carry propagation, that means what? I am erasing this. So 6 nanosecond is the wrong answer to this question. Wrong. This is wrong. Okay. Wrong. Those of you got 6 nanosecond, this is wrong. Now why? Due to this line. Look here. It is given Ai and Bi are available and stable throughout the carry propagation. That means at t equal to 0 only, this has been already, means t equal to 0 minus. So initially only this has been applied. Okay, this has been applied. So 2 nanoseconds. So this is from the past. So already these inputs have been given. So output of this gate means this one. you can see it is already present at t equal to 0 minus. Okay, let me assume I have given at t equal to infinite minus all the inputs. Okay, all the inputs. Now like this there can be different full adders also. Okay, full adder. But what I am saying, okay, I will make this question a little bit easier for you people to understand. So it is given that input ai and bi are available and stable throughout the carry propagation. Okay, so this is actually the ith full adder block. So in a full adder, what we know, if this is full adder, so for a 4-bit I am drawing. Okay, so A naught, B naught, AI, BI, and let me write this as, sorry, AI, BI I wrote. So this is A2, B2, and this is A3, B3. And from here we will get as 0. And this will go over here. So this is C2 or C1, I can write C propagation. So this is C0, C1, C2 will come from here, and this will be S0, S1, and this carry will be propagated here, and here this will be S2, and again there will be carry propagated to over here, and this is your output carry, C out. Okay, output carry, or this is C3. So now what we know means all the inputs are readily available to me. Okay, readily available, and I have already given them. Only my carries from the subsequent stages, they are getting repelled. So I need to wait for this one only. Okay, I need to wait for this one. So initially what I am telling, this AI and BI, it has been applied at t equal to 0 minus this CI. Let me assume I am getting it at t equal to 0. If this has been applied at t equal to 0 minus, or if it has been applied initially, already if it has been applied, so this output of this gate is also ready because it has been applied. So at t equal to 0, this output of this gate is also ready. Why? Because it has this input AI and BI, it has been applied initially. Okay, and output of this gate is also ready. So now this input is available at t equal to 0. Okay, t equal to 0, and this CI is also present from t equal to 0 minus, so it will not affect. So 2 second means after 2 nanosecond output of this gate will be present, and this already this AI and BI, it is available at t equal to 0 minus, so this input is also available at t equal to 0 minus. So that means what? This is available after 2 nanoseconds. So this gate will take further 2 more nanoseconds to produce this output. So the answer to this question is this 2 and this 2. Total 4 nanoseconds will be required, not 6 nanoseconds. Okay, because all this input, suppose this, if this AI and BI, it is this A3 and B3 block. Okay, A3 and B3 block, they are just asking after how much time will you get C out. Okay, so suppose this A0, B0, A1, B1, A2, B2, A3, B3, they have been applied at t equal to infinite minus. So already this circuit is in steady state. Okay, steady state. Now let me assume this carry, input carry to this full adder, we are getting at t equal to 0. Okay, so we are getting this at t equal to 0. So you can see already from t equal to minus infinite to t equal to 0, more than 2 nanoseconds have passed. So the output of all the gates, as this AI and BI are already available at t equal to minus infinite, so they have actually stabilized. They have actually stabilized. So that is why they are readily available at t equal to 0. So that is why I am telling 4 nanoseconds. So in this question, if you people have any doubts, just post in the comment. And what I will do in the next session of previous year question, I will try to solve this more easily. But you can look at it like this way, that if you want to calculate the specific C out of this adder FA3. So I am assuming what? All the inputs are available at t equal to minus infinite. And what happens? All these carries are being generated, and let me assume this carry I am getting at t equal to 0. So what is happening? This A3B3, due to this, let me assume this is A3B3. So for this, output of this gate has already stabilized. This gate has also stabilized. So at t equal to 0, this is readily available, and at t equal to 0, this is coming. Okay, this C means this input carry is coming to the full adder. So when this comes, this gate now has an active input. So after 2 nanoseconds, it will produce input, and this input is readily available at t equal to 0 minus. So it doesn't matter, but this input is not present. So after 2 nanoseconds, it will get this input, and further after 2 more nanoseconds, output will be produced. So in total 4 nanoseconds have passed before we get this final carry. Okay, so 4 nanoseconds is the correct answer to this question, not 6 nanoseconds. Okay. So the next question here asked is, if x equal to x1 x0 and y equal to y1 y0 are two binary numbers, the Boolean function s that satisfies the condition if x greater than y, then s equal to 1 in its minimized form. So this is a very simple question. Only thing being that you know how to solve this question. See, one of the approaches will be what? You need to find this condition where x is equal to x1 x0 and y is equal to y1 y0. So first I will explain you actually the longer method, okay, for understanding. Then I will tell you the shortcut also. So let me take this to the next page. Okay, or else I will do what? Let it be, whenever x greater than y, your output will be what? It will be 1. Okay, so there are 4 variables. How many combinations will you get? Obviously there will be 16 combinations. Okay, or let me use this grid so it will be easy, or else it's okay, we will go like this only. Okay, so these are all the possible 16 combinations. Now output, when is it 1? So this is your output, or in the question it is given s. Okay, so this is 0, this is also 0, this is 0, this is 0. So here this will be 1, this will be 0, 0, 0. Here it will be 1, 1, 0, 0. This will be 1, 1, 1 and 0. So you can see what? This position, this position, this position, this position, and this. You are getting 1. So very quickly, draw your K-map. Okay. So this is x1 x0, this is y1 y0, 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 0, 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 0, and this is 0 1 2 3 4 5 7 6 8 9 11 10 12 13 15 14. Okay, so this is your which case? So this is 4, this is 8, 4 8, and this is your 9, and this is 12 13 14, 12 13, and this is 14. Okay, so now what do you see? Pairing we need to do. So this will be one pair, a group of 4, this will be another, and the last will be this one. Okay, so for this group of 4 it will be what? So common is x1 over here, and here it is y1 bar. For this one, this group of 2, so what it will be, you can see this is x0 common, and here it is y1, sorry, why did I write x0 bar? So it is x0 y1 bar y0 bar, plus for this group x1 x0, and common here is y0 bar. So let us check which option. So x1 y1 bar, this one x0. Did I forget something over here? Yes, so I forgot a bar. It's okay. So x0 y0 y1 bar, this one x0 x1 y0. So option B is your correct answer. So this is a long way, you can see 2-3 minutes this will take you. Okay, now how to solve this question very easily? So objective method, look very carefully. So it is given x should be greater than y. So first possibility is what? Either x1 is greater than y1, then your output will be 1, or x1 is equal to y1 and x0 greater than y0. I can write it like this. So now if I want to write this in Boolean form, so what this will be? x1 y1 bar, or means plus x1 equal to y1. So equality detector is what? It is x nor. So x1 x nor y1, and means dot x naught greater than y naught. So that means x naught y naught complement. So now simply you can see what? This one x1 y1 bar, it is present only in one option, that is option B. So directly also you could have marked option B after this step. Okay, you could have marked after this step and you could have moved on to the next question. But if you want the exact result, so you need to do what? Then you need to break this one, x1 y1 plus x1 y1 complement into x naught y naught. Okay, so now again you need to form the K map and you will get the result. Okay, very simple question. So the next question is a 2-mark question. This is also a very simple question. It is given in a microprocessor with a 16-bit address bus. The most significant lines are A15 to A12. We know this. So this is A15, A14, A13, A12, A11, A10, A9, A8, A7, A6, A5, A4, A3, A2, A1 and A0. Okay, so it is given that the most significant address line of A15 to A12 are used to select a 4096 word memory unit. So A15 to A12, so these are used for chip select. Okay, while A0 to A11 are used to address a particular word in the memory unit. Okay. If three least significant lines of the address bus A0 to A2 are short circuited to the ground. So this three have been short circuited to the ground. Okay. The addressable number of words in the memory units is, so addressable number of words. So how many lines are available for addressing? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these 9 means 9 lines, they can take values from 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 to 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So in total, there are how many memory units present from 0, 0, 0? Means from 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 to 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2 to the power 9. 2 to the power 9 means 2 to the power 8 into 2. So this is 256, 512. So the answer to this question is 512 addressable memory units are present in the given condition. Okay, very simple question. Very simple, very basic. Okay, so 512 is the correct answer. So this was the last question actually in your instrumentation for 2019 in digital electronics. So the total number of marks is 2 marks. This is also 2, 4. This is 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 mark questions have been asked, and all the 8 mark questions are very, very simple. If you know the basic concepts, you can solve the question. Yes, I will say this is actually a good question. A 3-star mark question. Okay. So 8 marks question, you can easily get it. So I hope you have enjoyed this session. If you have done so, please like, share and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next session. Thank you.